Hello, dear soul, and welcome to the Lightbearer's Library. My name is Kate Harmony. In today's journal entry, I want to talk about kindness. I think it was the Dalai Lama that said, "Kindness is my religion." And I feel like, as this sensitive soul that I am and that you probably are, that really strikes me to the depth of my being, my soul. Is like, that's what I feel like is the essence of what matters in life. You know, I am constantly asking myself and my husband, why are we here? What is the point? You know, there's so much suffering in our own lives, perhaps, in the world around us, you know, in the people that we know, and then at the end we die. Okay, so what is it? Why are we here? I just, and I don't have a be-all end-all answer that is like, this is the answer. But I do feel like kindness is one of those answers that I continually hold on to, because when and it goes, there's two ways to kindness, right? It's like when we are kind to others and when others are kind to us. And I guess I'll talk about when others are kind to me, it's like a balm, B-A-L-M, a balm for my soul. It soothes me. It calms me. It says all is right with the world because there are humans out there. There are other human, precious souls that still have kindness in them. I think this world, and humanity is lacking kindness. It feels like it's been stripped out a lot of it's just my feeling. It's my feeling that I have in the world, and it makes me feel unsafe. And when, I have lovely, lovely people, lovely souls that comment on my videos, because I'm an introvert, I don't go out very much. And as you know, maybe I've been having a lot of struggles with my family. I don't have a lot of friends. Well, so it's quite lonely. I have my husband and I'm very grateful for him. But the practice of kindness, of having kindness directed towards me, it's like an angel, because it feels like a mini miracle every time that happens. So I want you to know how precious and meaningful each comment is, that brightens my day. It makes my day. And this isn't some pity thing to say like, please comment on my videos. No, what I'm saying is that it's kindness. It's so simple, and it takes very little to be kind to others. And sometimes it takes a lot to be kind to others. I have a new dear soul friend that has been commenting on my videos. You know who you are. And he is really, really struggling with his health and facing potential death. And yet he shows up and he is so kind. And, in his darkest moments, he's kind to me. And that is the essence of humanity. That is the essence of why we are here, I think. And it feels trivial, and it feels so small in what feels like the big bad world out there and all the things that are going wrong. But it's like these small acts of kindness are the little lights in the world that we need. This man is a light bearer. In his darkest hour, he is a light bearer to me. That's what kindness is. Kindness is lighting a little lamp in other people's lives. And because we do not know the amount of suffering and darkness that each person is dealing with in the world, the people we pass when we go for a walk, the people at the grocery store, there's just so much suffering. And when we can just share a little smile, have a little laugh, have a little comment on someone's video to say, I see you, I hear you, thank you for your video, whatever it is. Those are little lights that we light in other people's lives. So if you've ever commented on one of my videos, dear soul, thank you. Thank you for being a little light in my world, in my heart. Not even a little light, a big light, Some days that's all it takes for me to keep going, And then there's the flip side, right, of kindness, of us being kind to others. And when we are kind to others, as a sensitive soul, I don't know about those who are maybe not so sensitive. I can't speak for them. I'm just speaking to you who are here listening because, we're kindred souls here, kindred spirits, that when we are kind to others, when we kind of get out of our own way of all the stuff that's going on, all the emotions, all the, potential financial struggles or whatever it is, the burdens, when we just set our burdens aside, or health issues, right? When we set those aside for just a tiny moment to be kind, it's almost like to be kind to others. We have to take off our burden for a moment and set it aside. And in that moment, we are free of that burden because we're focused on being kind to someone else, on sharing a kind word, or a bit of a joke, a bit of lightness, a bit of, I see you, I hear you, you're of value to me, whatever it is that you're doing. I have another YouTube friend and he just provides so much laughter to me and joy, and he knows who he is too, because I've just been cheering him on and he's been cheering me on, and it's such a joy to just share with one another, each human, one to another, to say, keep going, there's so we lighten our burden by being kind to another, and then we light a little light in their life. So kindness is so good for our own selves, and it's so good for each other soul that we are kind to, even if we don't get a response and know that kindness was appreciated. I think that's another kindness we can do when someone does us a kindness, say that was very kind and I value that and that means a lot to me. And then they can go, wow, we spread the light. It makes me think of, is it Christmas time where, everybody has their own candle, and then you light your neighbor's candle, and then the whole, whatever it is, lights up, whether it's a church or a community space, that it's like, that's what it's like. And then it's all bright. And that's what we can do for one another and the world, and that energy of kindness, other people see the comments of kindness or witness kindness in the grocery store or whatever it is. That spreads and that ripples, the ripple effect of kindness. I know there's been studies on that, like when people observe acts of kindness, they're not the one being kind, they're not the one having the act of kindness happen to them. Okay, so now we're talking about a third thing here. We're talking about someone who witnesses the kindness. That like, I can't remember what, the oxytocin or endorphins or whatever the good drugs are, that in that observing person lifts them up as well. So here we are. It's just like spreading light and spreading kindness. So that's my thoughts today, is kindness, and how it's such a massive thing we can do it's the smallest thing we can do that has the biggest impact. And how incredible is that? Kindness is my religion. And I hope to inspire you to take that on as well. Let's all kind of hold this in our lives. And, every day, let's try and give just however small it is that we can give an act of kindness. And it's just as simple as one sentence, even one sentence. Okay, dear soul. Well, I am wishing you so many blessings. If this has touched your heart, give this video a thumbs up. If you are feeling brave and courageous, I would love to hear from you in the comments about how kindness has helped you and inspired you to keep going, every day. And I would love to observe, the kindness that you've shared with others, or any, memory of kind acts that have helped you keep going. Any thoughts you have on kindness. And please do subscribe to the Lightbearers Library. It makes me so happy to have you here. Okay, dear friend. Well, signing off for now. XOXO, Kate.